Warriors, XRP, and the SEC. Holy cow. A lot of press going on. Gary Gensler's getting pressured big time. Oh, sorry, Gensler. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Whereas it is getting fun out here. Oh man, this is going to be great. I cannot wait for this case to be dropped. But we're going to jump into this, Warriors, and we're going to dive in. So Gary Gensler was in front of the oversight of the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission. This is Wall Street's, what does it say? Cop is finally back on the beat. So they're hammering the SEC basically, and they specifically bring up XRP. Now, XRP is getting so much press in the media. Over U.S. Securities Exchange Commission. Oversight hearings. It's coming up over and over and over. Predictive programming, preemptive programming, Warriors. It is designed to bring in the new Howey tests. But let's listen to what they're saying to Gary Gensler, and then we're going to take you down the path. We know that XRP is going to be a currency that is going to absolutely, a bridge currency. It's absolutely going to change and revolutionize our new financial system. Let's take a look at what they said.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And thank the ranking member, McHenry, and Chairman Gensler. Thank you for your time here today. In 2018, there was a New York Times article that discusses your views on blockchain and various cryptocurrencies. One of the cryptocurrencies discussed in the article was Ethereum. In the article, you say that Ether could have problems with securities laws because some of the first tokens were sold by the Ethereum Foundation before the network was actually functional. You go on to say that Ethereum could get off the hook from securities laws due to the fact that it developed into a decentralized network. You've repeatedly said that you believe initial coin offering tokens are securities, but
so that's key. How he said Ethereum was a security and then it developed into a decentralized network. Think about what happened with XRP.
Right here, it's sounding like you're acknowledging that Ether transitioned from what would have been a security into a commodity once the network was adequately decentralized. Can you clarify when a token is sufficiently decentralized to no longer be a security in your view?
I thank you for that, and digging back to an article from 3 years ago. But I was honored to study and research these issues at MIT. And what I was commenting on then was a process that the SEC was going forward on. And I think then head of corporate finance was talking about in that time frame. And so without going into any one token, what I think the core test is, and it's the test the Supreme Court has taken up numerous times with a broad brush, are you raising money from others and the investing public anticipating profits based upon the efforts in some collective group of individuals? That's central test. It's called the Howey test. There's other broad brushes with regard to this as well, as to when something is a note, called the Reeves test that Thurgood Marshall wrote a few decades ago. Fundamentally, the SEC is here to help protect the public from fraud, and that's why Congress painted with a broad brush.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. And unfortunately, Congress didn't create the Howey test. The courts did. The same with the Reeves. And frankly, we're dependent on this patchwork of regulation by enforcement. Obviously, there are people that feel that a particular, token like Ether is treated differently than one like XRP, for example, is something, a matter that's before you right now, because of the same thing. Is it centralized or is it decentralized? Who has control? And I think that really gets to the issue. Congress really should clarify. We've had a bipartisan legislation called the Token Taxonomy Act drafted since 2018. We can't get a hearing on it. It would provide a bright line test that would apply a 1950s case law, Howey test, to modern digital assets and provide.
See, that's what I've been telling you. That Warriors, a 1950s test, the Howey test that was for orange orchards, right? The XRP is to bring in the new Howey test.
Provide some of that clarity. But could you, generically speaking, talk about the shortcomings of enforcement actions or even threatened enforcement actions versus the need for clarity, maybe a rulemaking process that would establish a bright line? Because really what you referred to was, well, come talk to us in a one-on-one kind of third world way where every individual firm cuts their own deals. What the market really needs is clarity. Wouldn't that be better than threatened enforcement?
Well, I actually think that the securities laws are pretty clear on this, sir. And I think that firms should just come in and register. But what's happened over the last 4 or 5 years is they've either.
So basically what he's saying to him is you guys are cutting deals behind the scenes. So we've talked about the players in the game, right? He comes from MIT, becomes the head of the SEC. Brian Brooks leaves the head legal counsel for Coinbase, becomes the head of the OCC, leaves to be the head of Binance, already has left Binance. Jay Clayton, who was the head of the SEC, leaves the SEC and is now consulting for a cryptocurrency firm. Bill Hinman, who was formerly in the SEC, leaves the SEC and becomes a consultant for Anderson Horowitz $2.2 billion crypto fund. Think about this, Warriors. He's literally telling them, you guys are doing backdoor deals with everybody.
They're chosen not to, or they've stood up in Singapore or Malta or Hong Kong or other countries and offered their services indirectly through virtual private networks. Not all of them. Some of them are here in the U.S. as well. And I think that our securities laws were written for a reason, to protect the public, the investing public.
Yeah, I think you're right. We should protect the public, but we need to do it with clarity. And frankly, we should do it in a way that doesn't destroy the market. I mean, you're talking about fintech being the leading innovation. America has led in market after market after market in field of technology, from the ag revolution, industrial, on up through the internet age. Why would we want to destroy the fintech revolution and push it outside the United States when we could foster it? I refer to your threatened enforcement action on yield products, for example. We should go through a rulemaking process, or frankly, Congress should act, which is why I'm drafting a bill that should be submitted shortly to clarify yield products and how they should be protected. The last thing I'd say is certainly not all stable coins should be considered securities. And I think you've referenced that, but I look forward to working with you and your office to provide clarity for our markets.
Yeah, so we know it's all by design, Warriors, right? They all this representative here from Ohio, I think it's Ohio. He knows they're playing a game. He knows there's people scratching each other's backs. You heard him say that. He said, you guys are doing some third world backdoor deals. What the hell's going on, man? Like, we want clarity. All of us are invested in this. They're invested in this. They know this is the greatest asset in history, or even fintech, right? So we're all fed up. We're ready to go. Let's get this done. Let's get your backdoor deals done, and let's all move on into the new quantum financial system. So Ripple iOS 2000 or 2022 ISO, that's my dyslexia, ISO 2022 format adopted by Fed Reserve. I told you guys that news yesterday. The cool thing about it is I broke this news to you guys last year around July, talking about Volante's partnership with Ripple. And I shared with you that the Federal Reserve was going to be enacting this. And sure enough, boom, here we are. Yesterday, the news came out. This is really cool. So I want to connect you really quickly to this. Now, you're going to see a video that I'm about to do tomorrow where our President Biden brings up the World Economic Forum multiple times. And he says something very similar to what this gentleman says about us losing the fintech race. So basically, we are crashing the car in America, straight up crashing the car in America. So this is important with the ISO 20022, because if you go here to the World Economic Forum, connecting the digital economies policy recommendations for cross-border payments, you push in ISO, boom. Forward-looking central banks managing development of real-time payment systems are using this as an opportunity to update the messaging standard and support for broader financial modernization. Specifically, central banks are adopting ISO 20022 as a messaging standard for new systems, an internally accepted standard that enables participants in the payment ecosystem to send richer information and transactions than in the past. Further, central banks should collaborate closely with industry groups already working on international standard harmony I can't even pronounce that word, such as the Payments Markets Practice Group, which leading efforts to define usages guidelines for consistent use of ISO 20022 cross-border payments. So we know that the Federal Reserve came on board with this. Volante is a partner of Ripple, who is working with the FedWire. So the FedWire is connected to the Federal Reserve, which Volante is the Ripple partner connected to FedWire. And we got the World Economic Forum talking about it. In the video I'm going to do tomorrow, you're going to hear President Biden referencing the World Economic Forum. Well, we know that the World Economic Forum, Ripple is a partner of the World Economic Forum. And take it a step further, we know that Brad Garlinghouse is on the Global Future Council for Cryptocurrencies. This is the Global Future Council for Cryptocurrencies. And you're going to hear in my video tomorrow, hint, watch my video tomorrow, where President Biden literally tells us that we are crashing the American economy. It will shock the living shit out of you. Okay, so we got Brian Brooks here. Let's find his pretty little face. There we go. Brian Brooks. Sorry, Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse. This is the CEO of Chief Executive Officer of Ripple. So we got, boom, SEC getting hammered here. Gary Gensler is the puppet for the SEC, who is getting hammered by these guys saying, hey, stop doing your backdoor deals. Let's get on the horse. Let's get some regulation. Let's get some clarity. Let's get the markets rocking. We got everybody behind the scenes as you're looking this way at a whole narrative. Everybody's switching over to the new financial system, the new quantum financial system. World Economic Forum's been telling us this for quite a while now. Let's see what the date this came out. I've been telling you guys this stuff for about a year and a half. So we got June 2020. We got Ripple, part of the World Economic Forum. We got Brad Garlinghouse on the World Economic Forum Crypto Committee. And we know, let's just keep reminding you who Brad Garlinghouse hangs out with. So this is the Blockchain and Banks, Brad Garlinghouse, Chief Executive Officer for Ripple. And then Ross Lecko, Deputy General, International Monetary Fund, the IMF. Warriors, what a great time in human history to be alive, Warriors. Great time in human history to be alive. So you have two choices, Warriors. As I always say, Rosie Rio stole my saying, you can get on the train and go for the ride of your life, or you can get run over by it. But at some point, everybody has to get on the train. Now, my next couple of videos, the next couple of days, are really going to help you understand that all the stuff we've been talking about a year and a half is actually facts, figures, numbers, logic. The video I'm going to post tomorrow is really going to shock you to hear our president talk about the economy and how unbelievably bad it is, how low we are ranked now, how we are viewed by other countries. And it'll make you go, what the hell is going on here? So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm running for the hills in assets, Warriors. Assets, assets, assets. Your traditional financial system is collapsing right before your eyes. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. Down below, you can join our private Warrior Academy by clicking the description. You can join our free Discord, our free Facebook group, or you can, for 90% off, join our Warrior Academy. We're actually, by November 15th, we'll be completely revamped our crypto academy and our classes. So we're new and improved every single quarter. We're going to be improving it this quarter and doing a whole new revamped section of it. You get access to my portfolio, exit strategy, and most of all, getting your shit together in my 120-day challenge, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation. There's nothing like it in human history that's been created. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.